Hi guys, welcome to Innate Academy, and this is JavaScript basic course, or we can say JavaScript level 1 course. So this is the first video of JavaScript level 1 course. In this video we'll discuss about everything about JavaScript and how you can write a program using JavaScript. So what all we will discuss in this whole series. So in the first video we'll discuss about the variables and operators, and after that we'll go with basic mathematics, strings, comparison operators, arrays, functions, conditional operators, switch statements, object, and iterating with loops. This video is for the people that they are fresher, like if you are passing from college, or if you want to learn JavaScript from the scratch. This is the best series, I would say, that you can view to understand all the concepts of JavaScript. So we'll start from zero, basic programming language like C or C++, very little. Then you can start with this, or if you don't know C, C++ as well, you can still start with this and understand. So let's discuss about the variables and operators as a first video of this series. So in JavaScript or in any other language, there are so many data types. In JavaScript, basically we have these 8 data types that we can say. One is undefined, null, boolean, we have string, we have symbol, we have a big int, we have a number, and we have an object. We'll discuss them about details in later lectures. This is just to understand what a data type is. So on the right hand side, if you see, there is a small snippet that you can see. We have initialized a variable using var keyword. So this is a ES5 style declaration, and we have also initialized a variable with a name and given a value with it as well, like a JavaScript course. You can declare variables using const and let as well. But let's see how that works in detail. So first of all, let's see how you can run the JavaScript in your system. So let's say if you are very new, so there are plenty of ways to run. The very basic way is to run it in your local system. So what you need to do, just create a index.html file and add a script tag in it. And when you add a script tag, just provide a source with a script.js and create a file of script.js, and you can write the code in script.js. And whatever you write, you can run it in your browser. How you can run it in a browser? So let's say we have created 2 files. One is index.html and one is script.js. What you need to do, just open this index.html using any browser of your choice. Let's say I am open with Google Chrome. So this file will open in the Google Chrome and it will show something like this. So if you see a blank, don't bother, just right click on this, click on inspect, and it will open a console. So everything that you run the JavaScript, you will see here inside, whatever is running. Let's increase the font. So whatever you write, you see the output here in the console. So that's very easy to run in your local system. As an alternate, you can use other online tools. You can use Replit. So what you can just do here, just click on start creating. Create an account if you are not logged in. Click on create REPL. It will ask you what you want to create. Create a Node.js file. Give the title anything. Let's say we'll say basic JS course. Let's create a REPL, and it will give you a great UI where you can write your code here. Let's have a small console as hello world, and you will see the output on the right hand side. So if you click it, you'll see the output on the right hand side. There's also a way to run it online. There are other plenty of tools that you can use, but we are limiting it to local and Replit. Let's deep dive into what a JavaScript is. So for the ease, I'm using a split screen where we'll write the code on the left hand side and we'll see the output on the right hand side when we refresh it. So let's understand first of all what a basic JavaScript code look like. So let's declare function sum. No need to understand like what it's doing. I'm just writing a code so that you understand how the JavaScript code looks like. So for the starting, how you can comment in a code. So for commenting, you can use double forward slash, and I can say this is a function of sum. That's just one way of commenting a JavaScript code. Another way of commenting is a forward slash and then a star, and then you can write anything. And then again a star and a forward slash. This is also a comment in JavaScript. This format is only used for commenting a single line. You cannot use multi-line format in this. If you want to comment multi-line, you need to again set. In this format, we can easily do multi-line. I can simply press an enter and write multiple lines directly within this syntax like this. So this is a one way of commenting in JavaScript. So there are only two ways that you can comment in your JavaScript code. So let's discuss now what a variable is and how we can declare a variable. So in JavaScript, you can declare a variable using var keyword. As a starting purpose, we'll use var, but there are other ways that we can declare variables we'll talk about later. So let's say you want to declare your name. So you can say var my name. So this is a variable named as my name that you declared. So you can use variable to store anything in the JavaScript. Let's say you want to store your name in JavaScript. So how you can do that? This is a declaration of a variable. We just declared that. Now you can assign this variable anything. So let's say you can say my name and we will say Hemkaran. So how this is, you are declaring a variable in JavaScript, and then you are assigning with this variable with a Hemkaran. So here in this variable, I can store anything that I want. So let's say I just stored my name. Let's declare one more variable. Let's say my age. And that's again a variable that can store anything. In JavaScript, there is no restrictions to store what you can store in your variable. You can store anything that you want. So in this case, let's say I am adding my age. So that could be, let's say 29. So this 29 is coming as stored in my variable. How you can just see what your variable contains. So in JavaScript, if you want to print anything, so you can use console.log statement. So just remember as of now, like what this statement is doing. So whatever you pass, let's say I just want to print the my name, and also I want to print my age. So you can just add a console log, pass the variable in it, save your program, and let's try what the output is. So you see, this is coming as my name and showing as my age as well. In JavaScript or in other languages as well, variables are interchangeable. Basically, you can assign one variable to another as well. So let's say instead of doing this, I'll say I'll declare a variable as your name. And when you declare a variable, your name, you can assign your name variable any value. Previously that we were assigning some string, we were assigning some number, but here you can also assign a variable. So that means we are assigning your name to be equal to my name. That means both variable contains the same value now. So let's print your name and let's see what this contains. So we just saved it and let's refresh it now, and you see the output is coming as Hemkaran in both of the variable. So that means it's simply assigning this value to this. If we change value of this variable, it will change the value of your name variable in the program. So that's how you can assign one variable to another variable. So you can also declare a variable and assign it at the same time. Right now, just here we are doing in two statements or two lines, you can say. I can simply delete this line, or I can say var name, my name, equal to Hemkaran. I can do this as well if you want to assign the value just along with the declaration. So that will save you some space. Similarly, we can say var your name equal to my name in a shortcut if you want to assign. So this will save some lines and also do the same thing. So let's see how this works. Just save it and refresh in the browser, and you'll see the same output still, because we have assigned a my name variable a name of Hemkaran, and then this variable is assigned to your name, and we are printing both of them here. I can also assign a bigger string to a variable. Here I just assign name. Let's say I want to create a variable that say a sentence, you can give in the variable any name, and let's say I say I am
professional tutor.
This is how we can declare a longer sentences as well. So since we have seen multiple ways to declare a variable, what do you think if I declare a variable, let's say age, and I don't give any value to age, what will be the output if I print age here? If you declare any variable and you are not initializing that, they will be by default initialized with a undefined. So this will be an undefined variable. So let's save it and see how this is showing. If you see, I'm getting an undefined value. So undefined means the variable is not defined, and if you use it, you will see an undefined value. So let's say if I add this with a number 3. So if I add my age with a number 3, since age is undefined, it will say it's not a number. It will give me a value which says not a number. Let's see, let's save it and refresh it. So it's a nan. Nan is a shortcut of not a number. That means we are not able to add anything to an undefined value. It's becoming a not a number. Let's add some string to it. Let's say I add my last name to it and then save it and let's refresh it. So I'm getting undefined Raghav. So what it is doing, age is undefined. So this is undefined. It's adding Raghav with it. So we'll see a string undefined and string Raghav concatenated in a variable. Also, you might be wondering why I am writing my name like this. I could have write my name like this or this or this as well. But there is no harm in declaring my name like this or this, but there is a harm in declaring this because variable should not contain any space. So what are the rules of declaring a variable? There are few rules. The first rule is should not contain any space. Second rule is should not start with a number. So they should not start with a number anyhow. So these are the two main rules that you need to follow while declaring a variable. Now, if I declare a variable like this, or if I declare a variable like this, they both will work. And variables in JavaScript is case sensitive. That means if I write like this or like this, they will both be treated as a different variable because here n is a capital name and here the n is a small name n. So these, if I declare two variables, let's say I declare one more variable here and I'll assign this as Raghav. If I try to print, so let's print these both variables. One more trick, if you want to print multiple variable, just give both the variables separated by comma in console log. So let's see what we are getting. We are getting my name as well as my name small one, both. So variables are case sensitive. And the notation that we use in JavaScript is generally a camel case notation, where whenever the new word is starting, you just capitalize it with the name. So that's the notation that people use, but you can declare however you want. And this is the notation that people generally use to declare the variables. If you know, there are versions of JavaScript. The current version that is here is ES6 that cater a lot of problems that were there in JavaScript. We'll discuss more about ES6 in later videos, but let's see what's the difference between ES6 and ES5 in terms of variable declaration. So if you declare a variable, let's say my name, and initialize the variable, you can override this variable with a different value but using a same variable name. So basically you can redeclare a variable in JavaScript using var keyword and JavaScript will not complain. But this is wrong if your program contains lot of lines and you forgot which variables you declared. So this will override your existing variable. So let's save it and see the output. See, so my name is overridden to Raghav. But in ES6, we can declare variable using let keyword and const keyword. We'll discuss what's the difference between those, but let's define the same variable with the let. Let's replace the existing code to understand better. So let's replace this with let. This will do exactly the same thing and we'll declare the variable instead of where we are just replacing with a let. So if I declare like this, normal declare a variable and print it, So we are getting the output as simple hemcurrent. But if you, let's say, redefine this variable, see, there's even my ID is showing the error. But let's try what's the output in the browser. See, it's saying identifier my name has already been declared and throwing an exception. It will let you know if you are reusing that variable or redeclaring that variable somewhere, and there will be no problem in the JavaScript code. So I guess that's a better thing that JavaScript launched in ES6. The second type of variable that comes under ES6 declaration is const. So what's the difference between let and const? So with let, when you declare a variable, you can reinitialize that variable with any other name. That means, let's say I declare this variable using let only, and then I can reassign this variable to another value. So means I can write any value to this variable using let. I can change this variable anytime. So let's say what's the output right now. So the output is coming here above. But let's say you want to deliberately have a check in your code that the variable should not be reassigned anytime. So if that's the case, just declare your variable with a const and assign the value at the same time. Now this is a read only variable. That means you can use it any number of times. I can console it, I can add it to something, but I cannot reassign it. This is not allowed. So let's see if this is allowed or not first, and refresh. See, it's saying assignment to a constant variable. It's throwing an error. If I comment this line, let's see how this is going to output now. So that's how a const variable, you can declare a const variable if you don't want to change the value anytime later. And if you want to change the value anytime later, just declare the variable with a let. Simple rule, always declare your variable with const and change it later if you are assigning the value to this variable again. So just change it to let later on. Default, keep it constant, and all the variables will start with a const keyword in your programming. So we have discussed a lot about variables and what variables are. So let's go towards the operator. So if you notice that the first operator that we have used is a equal to operator when we were declaring a variable. So let's use const. As we discussed, everywhere we'll use const variable by default. We declared a variable, we have used an operator. This is called equal to operator or assignment operator. So this is used to assign any value to the variable. So on the left hand side, always write the variable name that you want to assign to. On the right hand side, write the value that you want to assign to. There are other type of operators as well that we will discuss in the next video. So let's see what topics we have covered in this video. So we have covered all these topics in this video. You can pause the video and check the list. Thank you for watching the video. Please like, share and comment if you have any doubt on the video. This is Hemkaran Raghav signing off. Bye bye.